Welcome back, fans and friends, and I've done this one before. It is the Corvette 2020 C8, so 40 out of 100. The one I did before was the black morph, and while it does look really good, one of the major flaws, which was not continued in this, probably perhaps because of the paint, is the V for the Victory Corvette symbol on the front of the car. And as we can see, it's the exact same painted lights, nice and easy to see through the windshield. There's the gas cap. And the nice thing about this car, as well as the other one, is it says Stingray on the back. And the Corvette, obviously. There's the engine. And why that's important is it doesn't say Stingray there. And nor does it say Stingray on the bottom of the car. So, and 2020, obviously. This is a 1-year release. We released from the year of production, so it's relatively new casting. Painted on lights. I brought this up before. That not too many companies nowadays will do the inserts because apparently it's just more expensive. And so far, all the lights look good. And so there we have 2020, a huge gap for where they put the 2020 Corvette C8, the GM trademarked, and that's the showroom type display they have in the top there, the GVX number. 40 out of 100 for their basic set. And then obviously we brought this up before, they're not usually for some Matchbox sets. I guess a set will include even a flat runway, so if it's just a flat thing, it'll work. I brought it before, one of the reasons these are not meant for, obviously they're supposed to be children's toys or for collectors, whatever you want to do, but because of the way they're made, the low ground clearance, they cannot handle some of the bends without dragging and then become uncontrollable. And so we have the normal stuff, Mattel, ages 3 and plus. And there's everything else is there. Rearview mirrors, no gap from the spoiler, just like the other one. So basically this is just the red morph of the previous one. And so just to quickly take a look at it, like I said before, I forgot, or just to skip my mind, the fact that the previous one was very difficult to see the Corvette symbol, the V in the front, because of the way the car was painted. Obviously the checker flag is easier to see on one side than it is the other. Left-hand drive car, nice and easy to see through the windshield. We have the rearview mirrors, the intakes, and the engine. As most people will know, the Corvette for the 2019-2020 production year switched from front engine to rear engine. And I guess it's not really to say it falls in line with some European companies because some don't. But a majority of the high performance market does in fact have engines in the mid rear for weight distribution issues. Obviously, I don't think these are 4-wheel drive cars, so I don't think that's a huge factor. But other car companies that used to have traditional front engine rear drive now have switched to mid engine and rear wheel drive as well. Not for all the cars, obviously, but for many of them. So, I've already covered this. We have the painted on 3D effect lights. So from any angle, it looks like the lights are facing forward. Meanwhile, they have just been simply painted on instead of inserts, which you have to put in during production. And like I said before, the spoiler will be nothing special. It's not like the green light though, but at least this one's not broken, where there is absolutely no gap, because obviously all they do is stamp the top to the bottom. And then there we have there it says Matchbox at the top there, and then Stingray underneath. So in case if you're wondering, is it legible, is it not legible? Underneath the Corvette, at the top of the license plate, so where they would have the state or the province, they have Matchbox. And then underneath it is Stingray. There is no front license plate whatsoever. So in Canada, it's a requirement. In some states it is, some states it's not, and in some European countries it is, and in some European countries it's not. So this one just has the one license plate on the back, and the lights are relatively painted evenly and level, the exhaust being a part of the undercarriage, and it's slightly better than some Mattels, but slightly worse than some of the Matchboxes that we've seen in the past. Like I said, it's a relatively new casting, but still Other than that, what other details are there? Just the splitter on the front, and the top pin and the bottom pin when they stamp it together, and the gas cap on the left side. I do like the 3D effect for the engine, because this is nice and clear. We've seen a few green lights where it is and where it's not, so they did at least a good job with that. And even the other morph had the exact, like I said, it's just the exact same thing. Nice and easy to see with the engine, and nothing to complain about there. So just gonna do its roll test, and there we go. High performance sports car from General Motors, the 2020 C8 Corvette. This model is the Stingray, as our license plate will tell us, but the bottom of the car will not. This is Thomas from Toronto, and thanks for watching.